Zach DiFranza of Acquia. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. What is the FedRAMP organization and community in government doing, and what could it do more of to enable vendors to bring more capability, new capability into the system?
Sure. First and foremost, thanks for having me. Happy to be here today. In representing the vendor side, one of the things we always think about is how can we do more in terms of FedRAMP and FedRAMP solutions for our government customers. And one thing we talk about when we look at bringing new solutions within that boundary is, will our previous experience and expertise help us in any way do that? Right. So I think there might be a way in the future where a company who's demonstrated that they understand the stringent security parameters around FedRAMP will have a path to bring new solutions in a less expensive and maybe easier way. Right. So maybe that's inheriting an existing ATO that another sponsor company or customer has sponsored to leverage that same one to bring a new solution. But really just once you've demonstrated you understand the importance of it, the practices that go with it, softening that path to get new solutions into that fold.
It's a little ironic to me, actually, that we're talking about this 11 years into FedRAMP, and that was kind of the original intent, was we have this platform, and it should be fairly easy to transfer it from one agency to another. In a way, we're kind of back at the beginning again, it feels like.
Yeah, I think so. And I think part of that comes with new technologies no one was thinking about 11 years ago, right? So for us, we started in web hosting, where it's the only thing you had to worry about your website. And now we're looking at email and text and all these different communication channels where, everybody even has an Alexa in their house, right? 11 years ago, no one was thinking about the voice data and how you should be securing that, whereas now it's kind of part of that constituent experience, if you will.
That's experience is another conversation point here that a lot of people are talking about. What's customer experience look like in a FedRAMP environment? What's the emphasis of that? What's driving that emphasis, do you think?
Yeah, we hear a lot in, again, the tech space about the third-party cookie going away, right? And that really means vendors have a responsibility to get the consumer, whether that on the commercial side is a purchaser or a citizen themselves, to opt in, right? So I think constituent experience starts to tie into being voluntary with your data, sharing what you want to, knowing what you're putting out there in the ether so that you have some responsibility as the consumer as well.
What do you think the end point of all of this is, or is there no end point? And that's maybe the gist of it, is that this is going to be an ongoing evolution for as long as any of us are involved in any of this.
Anytime it comes to technology, there's no end to it, right? I remember when I got my first iPod, I was like, this is it. How does it get better? And now I have my phone in my pocket, which does everything, a computer did 10 years ago. So I think the same could be said about constituent experience, and especially for the public here, is we're not even thinking about the things that are going to be in play 10, 11 years from now. And that's why you need the flexibility in place to prepare for it.
Zach, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.